The Supreme Court. Who says conservatives only care about abortion-related rulings? The Supreme Court has ruled that corporations may spend freely to support or oppose candidates for president and Congress. This is huge. And this didn't, a lot of people said, you probably knew about it, but it snuck up on me. This is not something that we knew was on the radar. And to me, it came pretty suddenly. It was a 5-4 vote, not surprising, down the conservative liberal line of the Supreme Court. The court overturned a 20-year-old ruling that said corporations can be prohibited from using money from their general treasuries to pay for campaign ads. The decision will almost certainly allow labor unions to participate more freely in campaigns, and it threatens similar limits imposed by 24 states. This all relates back to actually a First Amendment discussion, which is, does a corporation have the same freedom of speech rights that an individual has? And if you believe that they should, that is, if you believe that a corporation is the same as an individual, I don't think that they are the same, then arguably they should have the same First Amendment rights, which include the ability and the authority to donate to political campaigns. That's basically the argument. Justice John Paul Stevens did not agree. He said the court's ruling threatens to undermine the integrity of elected institutions around the nation. The big concern is obvious, which is that now corporations will be able to put in an incredible amount of money into campaign ads supporting the candidate they want to see elected, and it will give undue power to corporations. And we will see. Advocates of strong campaign finance regulations are obviously not happy.
Well, I mean, I don't really think it matters.
How so?
Considering how much money was raised in the last presidential election,
right,
for all candidates, I mean, isn't this really just negligible at this point?
I think that especially take a big Senate election like we just had in Massachusetts, where the amount of money isn't quite as large, but it still can affect. So, for example, a national insurance company might still know, a health insurance company, that the results will strongly affect them. They now have, essentially, for the purposes of a campaign, almost unlimited dollars to campaign for whichever side is going to cater to them. That gives, in my opinion, undue power to these corporations. And by the way, how is a corporation the same as an individual? Individuals create corporations for their businesses to reduce their personal liability. Right. So to that extent, a corporation is clearly separate from an individual, is it not?
Right, but it's made up of individuals.
Well, presumably.
Usually like-minded individuals.
Presumably. The bottom line is it's a 5-4 ruling. It means giant corporations can spend as much as they please on elections to advance their agendas. Justice Roberts, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, ruled that Halliburton has the same free speech rights as you and I do. In other words, Halliburton is a person too, in a sense. While companies still will not be able to give directly to federal candidates, that is important, they'll be able to spend billions on attack ads, robocalls, direct mail, just like you and I are free to do, essentially. And I'm wondering, and we'll get Ted Massanello on the phone in a second, and he'll be talking to us. I'm wondering, do they have the right to arm themselves by employing Blackwater-type mercenaries at their office buildings? If a corporation is a person and they have all the First Amendment rights,
they do.
Do they not have Second Amendment rights?
Well, there are companies that hire security. I mean, is that not the same thing?
I don't know that they can be armed, though.
Yes, of course they can.
So Walmart,
Mass Mutual has guys carrying M16s.
Walmart can post armed guards in their parking lots.
I believe so.
You really think so? We need to talk to a lawyer, don't we?
I'm pretty sure they can do that.
If corporations can get all of those First Amendment protections, presumably the argument could be made they could get all of the Second Amendment. And you're saying they already have them.
I believe so, but, financially it doesn't make sense for Walmart to do that, no.
Well, that's a completely different argument.
Well, I think that's why, they don't. But I believe that it's within their rights to, I'm pretty sure.
It may be. It may be. I don't know. Actually, we should have looked into that a little bit more before we went on the air today. The argument I was hearing from people was that there's something about that isn't legal right now. I'm not totally sure. Let's make sure that we have Ted on the phone shortly, because I know that we are scheduled to talk to him.